boys and girls. Welcome to HartsLight Kids, the place where kids shine bright. I am so delighted to have you here with me on HartsLight Kids Storytime. Yay! We have a super special guest with us today. Chelsea Elliott has written a book about how to slay monsters. Ooh, I'm scared of monsters. Are you? Uh-huh. So her book is Natalie, the Monster Slayer, and she's going to read it for you today. Welcome, Chelsea.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here and to read my story to you.
So tell me, Chelsea, what was your inspiration for writing this cool book?
My inspiration is my daughter, Natalie.
Aw.
My husband and I have raised her to be emotionally intelligent. And so we want her to always know what her emotions are, to always understand her feelings, and to be able to identify them and articulate them. So, something that's very important for us. So, that's what Natalie the Monster Slayer is all about.
Oh, that's great. That is so important to understand your emotions and to identify them and really be able to understand why you're feeling what you're feeling. So this
Hmm.
is a great book with all of the fear that we have right now. I can't think of a better book to share with the kids on Hearts Like Kids. So let's hear about Natalie, the Monster Slayer.
All right. Natalie the Monster Slayer. Early one morning, as she was fast asleep, Natalie awoke to a scary gurgling sound coming from downstairs. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. She jumped out of bed. What was that? She said. Her heart was racing and her body began to quiver. She was terrified. She heard it again and jumped back under her covers. As she lay there gripping her blanket over her head, she was startled again by another frightening sound. Boom, boom, boom. Ah! What in the world was that? She gripped her blanket even tighter. She waited for a moment before getting out of bed. She could feel herself becoming anxious as she thought about what could be making the haunting sounds. Is it a fire breathing dragon? Maybe it's a scary monster. What if it's a ferocious bear? I don't know. What could it be? Her curiosity grew and grew as she thought about where the sounds were coming from. The more she thought about it, the more determined she became to find out what they were and stop them. She mustered up the courage to stop hiding and fight. Her confidence soared as she ran around her room to find a makeshift cape, sword, and shield to prepare herself for what was coming. She's getting herself ready. Again, she heard more noises closing in on her. She heard a loud stomp, stomp, stomp coming up the stairs, then an even louder whoo, inching closer and closer to her room. Her body was trembling and became tense as she stood there with her sword and shield in hand in a ready to strike pose. As the door crept open, she repeated, I can do it, I can do it, I am brave and strong, over and over to calm her nerves. She saw bright lights that looked like eyes hovering over the shaking floor, followed by what looked like a blue face. Once she saw what was at the door, her body relaxed as she let out a loud sigh of relief. Whew, I wonder what it could be. Her mother walked in her room running the vacuum cleaner. She looked
Ah,
she looked confused as Natalie dropped her sword and shield, smiled, and gave her the biggest hug. As her mom finished vacuuming her room, she ran down the stairs to find out what her dad was doing. He was washing dishes and running the garbage disposal. That's what the gurgling sound was that woke her up. Gurgle, gurgle, you see? It's coming from the sink. She went to the laundry room and found that the banging sound was just the washing machine rumbling around with a full load of towels.
Ah,
She was filled with joy, knowing that she had nothing to fear at all. She ran back to her room to grab her sword and shield. She was ready to slay the vacuum cleaner dragon, the garbage disposal monster, and the washing machine bear. Just for pretend.
now those are scary looking monsters.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
The
thank you
end.
so much. That was great. I really liked that story. What a
Thank
great
you.
story for boys and girls to remember that sometimes things aren't the way you think they might be. And if you take the time to think about them and figure out what it is that you're afraid of, it may not be so scary after all.
That's
And that
right.
is a good reminder. Where can all of the HartsLight kids find your book, Chelsea?
You can find Natalie the Monster Slayer available on Amazon or at bedtimememoriespubco.com.
Oh, that is great. All right, kids, make sure you let your mom and dad know about a great book on how to slay the monsters of fear and how to understand some of your emotions a little bit better. Thank you so much.